I'm Barbara Engle with Sierra Wools, and I'm here today to demonstrate our swing arm wool picker. It's made of red oak, which is a very hard oak, hand polished tines, which are actually very sharp, and you need to watch your fingers, as with all pickers. And we have a nice ramp here that feeds the wool into the tine area so your fingers can avoid getting hit. Take a small amount. This is a nice short staple, about 3.5, 4-inch staple length merino, an off-white color, freshly washed and dried. And I'm going to feed it in here. And there's a nice handle here that has been rounded so that your hand has a nice place to rest as you're moving the pendulum part of the picker. And you do short draws and then get in there, and then you discharge into your waiting bin on the other end. If this was a longer staple wool, I would do a lot longer pushes each time I move the wool through the tines, and then discharge as I do with the shorter staple here. It's holding itself. It's stable with a clamp here and a clamp on the other side, and there's other holes, so depending on what your table configuration is, there's a variety of ways to stabilize it to the surface that you're working on. To clean the wool picker, once you're done, you can hand pick carefully with the tines here, just gently pulling the wool off and putting it into your bin. And then we just use a regular old paintbrush from any hardware store, and if there's any debris left in here from your wool, depending on whether it was blanketed or not, it might have a lot of debris falling out, which is a wonderful way to help clean your fleece before you card it, is to just run this through. We have an opening in the middle here that you can run the debris through, and it'll land on the floor beneath your, or on the bottom, underneath, on your table surface that you're working on. So we went from this wonderful clean fleece to a fluffy product here that's ready to be carded on hand cards, drum cards, or sent off to your favorite processor. And one thing I do recommend when you're carding, if you live in a dry climate, to have a small spritz bottle, spray bottle, that you have some water in and a very small amount of detergent that you, or soap that you would normally use to clean your fleece with, and that'll help to cut down on some of the static electricity you'll run into that's generated by moving the fiber through. I live in a very humid climate, this part of California, and I don't need to do that here. This is our Sierra Wools wool picker, and it works great.